We decided to keep all the lights in the house off, just in case the uncle were to show up. We don't want him to suspect that there's anybody in the house. Westy and I started talking about trying to find a place to sleep, but also some place to hide in case the uncle showed up, and some place that we could defend if we had to. And that's when we found that there was a retractable stairway in the ceiling of the living room.
I'll be right back.
Wait, where?
Rob's wife did say that he doesn't know we're out there, and he would probably be upset if he came to the cabin and saw us there.
She said that it was a hunting lodge, and so we thought her uncle might be armed with a gun. We decided that we needed to have a weapon to defend ourselves with, and I'd seen an axe when we walked in. I grabbed the axe and I brought it up the stairs. Now, when we got to the top of the stairs, we found an old dusty attic. The attic was an unfinished attic. There was exposed wood everywhere. You could see the rafters. And then we retracted the stairway so maybe the uncle wouldn't know that we were there. On one side of the attic, there were a couple of dirty mattresses lying on the floor with some dusty quilts nearby. There was a window right there facing out over the driveway. We can watch the driveway to see if her uncle's coming. We went and we sat on the mattresses and opened up a bottle of booze that we had brought with us and started drinking and talking about old times.
We're drinking and joking. He was at college, I was out of state. So we were catching up, joking at Rob's expense about just getting married.
Even as we're talking to each other, we never forgot that the uncle might be showing up at any time.
Trying to focus on something other than we're stuck out in this cabin. There's a nest where a man has been sleeping in his mother's clothes.
We had been talking to each other for quite some time, and all of a sudden we heard something.
Dude, did you hear that?
We heard the doorknob on the door being shaken violently, like somebody was trying to get in.
I just sit really still, and I look at James, I look at each other, and we're like, oh crap, somebody's here.
We were terrified.
I tense up, and it's like my heart's in my stomach. It sounded like whoever was trying to get in was upset. They were angry. And the door opens.
When I looked at Westy, I saw that he was as scared as I was. We were sitting there in the dark, staring right at each other, holding our breath. We thought it was the uncle coming in, and so we were terrified. So we're sitting quietly for a few more minutes, and then we hear something else. We hear the sound of the card table and metal folding chairs downstairs being dragged across the floor.
We were just full on freaked out. It was just terrifying.
I'm pretty scared. My heart is pounding. We just sit there quietly, listening and hoping that he doesn't find out that we're upstairs.
We're hoping that they go, whatever it is down there goes away.
Well, what now?
I'm just trying to calm down. I'm making a decision as to whether I can really stay the night in that cabin or if I have any other options. We didn't have cell phone reception. We didn't have any choice but to stay. So Westy and I hadn't heard anything downstairs for about a half an hour. And so we started talking to each other again, whispering. We heard the phone in the kitchen downstairs begin to ring. We waited for a while to see if anybody was going to answer it. It probably rang about 30 times before we decided that if the uncle was downstairs, he would have picked it up already. People don't let the phone ring that long unless it's really important. I decided to go downstairs and answer the phone. I picked up the axe and I climbed down the stairs. I can't see anything at the bottom of the stairs. I'm afraid that the uncle's still there and he's awake and that he might attack me. The living room is completely dark, but I can see inside the kitchen. I started feeling like there was somebody watching me from the dark, and all of the hair on my body stood on end. The phone was sitting on the counter and ringing. The phone is dead. There's nothing. There's no dial tone. There's nobody on the other line. There's no sound at all. I check the plug-in for the phone to the wall, and I see that the phone isn't plugged into the wall. It had been ringing by itself. Instantly, this feeling of dread washed over me. And then the phone began to ring again. I had to get out of the kitchen as fast as I could.
James, are you there?
I climb back up into the attic. I feel like there's something in the dark watching me the whole time.
So he gets up and he just pulls the stairs up as fast as he can. He's weirded out. And I'm like, well, who was it? And he goes, dude, there was nobody on the line. There's no dial tone, nothing.
I told Westy he could go down and look at it himself, but he decided he didn't want to go downstairs.
I'm still freaked out. I'm not gonna volunteer to go down there at all.
I think he could see that I was really scared.
Dude, there's no one there. I mean,
Well, at that point, things are lining up and it's kind of like, okay, this place is freaking haunted.
I didn't really feel like talking after that. And then the phone began to ring again.
It just didn't stop.
So I just started to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. $97, $98, $99, $100. I count to well over 100 rings before I decide there's no point in counting anymore.
The last thing I remember before I fell asleep was just thinking, what am I doing here?
Well, when I woke up, I still had that same feeling of dread that I had when I was downstairs and answered the phone. The type of person that I am, I wanted to find a rational explanation to help me deal with my fear, and so I decided I wanted to go downstairs and investigate. I had hoped to find evidence that the uncle had been there and that he had left, and that it had all been a dream, that the phone was plugged in, and I had imagined it all. So Westy and I dropped the stairs, and we climbed down into the living room. We found it exactly the way that we had left it the night before. I let Westy examine the phone. I didn't want to go near it again. Westy went and picked up the phone.
I go down and check on the phone and I find out that it wasn't plugged in.
Part of me felt vindicated that I hadn't made it up, that what I'd experienced was real. The other part of me was pretty creeped out. We looked all over for another phone. That was the only phone in the house.
Come on, man, let's get out of here.
Hey, what's going on?
Did you try to call us?
No, we didn't call. You guys try to call.
We chewed him out for leaving us there overnight and told him what had happened.
I'm telling you, that house is haunted.
Oh, come on.
We asked them if they had tried to call us in the middle of the night, and Lacey said that they hadn't.
I think the ghost probably wanted us out of there. I think that all the noises were angry noises, intended to scare us.
I think it was Grandma trying to get us out of her house. I don't think that she lived there her whole life. She had died in that house, and that she didn't want strangers staying there. Sitting there in the dark in that attic, listening to the phone ring, it was terror in the woods.
Hurry, kids. Don't trip.
We were scared and we didn't know what that was, couldn't figure it out, couldn't see anything, but it felt very close. I almost felt like I could reach out and touch it, it was so close.
Come on, David.
Coming. I'm very, very careful when we go into the woods. I'm very protective of my family. So after that initial incident, I was kind of uptight.
Go play in the cabin, kids. You sure we shouldn't do this another weekend?
What? No way, David.
I wanted to go home. I said to Laura, I think we should leave. She didn't want to.
Look, it was probably a deer or something.
I really don't think that was a deer. Something's out there.
We had just gotten there. It would have just felt like such an incredible waste to have left.
Let's just relax, okay?
I grew up in the woods, whereas David didn't. So sometimes he can get a little more spooked than I do.
Let's go for a walk up above the camp. We can go to that clearing where the oil drum is.
I was very uneasy from that point on, and I would have left if Laura wouldn't have suggested otherwise.
There's some nice clear walking trails, and I felt like it made David feel a little more secure instead of being in the thick wooded area where you can't see, 2 feet in front of you.
Not too far ahead, kids.
We kind of shook it off, and we talked about it. I'm trying to figure out, was it a deer? Was it a moose? When you go in the woods, we get what we call our forest ears on, and you're hearing every little thing. So you become very in tune with your environment.
Probably about half a kilometer to a kilometer up into the pine stand, there's a big oil drum. So we looked around and, telling the kids, oh, I used to come here when I was a kid and climb this tree. We used to go to this oil drum and bang on it as kids.
Quiet now, kids.
This used to be my special playground when I was a kid. I'd come here and climb trees and send messages to the woods by banging on this oil drum. Ah, even louder. Yeah, just like that. Why don't you go find some blueberries for lunch? Yay!
We decided to come back to the camp to have our lunch.
Well, we'll see if we can find more on the way down. Okay.
We started unpacking and getting our lunch ready, get some snacks for the kids and that sort of thing. And then that's when we heard it again.
that humph noise again, and it was really deep and loud.
We heard that same grunting sound a few times, and then that thump, a deep rumble in the ground. Got pretty uneasy, and it carried on.
What's going on? Kids, get back inside!
It was so loud, and it reverberated the ground, and it went up into my feet, into my chest, and I could feel my chest vibrating.
It was something like that, but it was beyond my capability of my vocal cords. It was very deep. It was resonating.
Stay in the house, kids!
We were all together, and we all had the same reaction at the same time. It was very obvious. It was very clear, and it was right there. So it all caught us all off guard. We all just froze and looked around, trying to figure out what was going on. I jumped straight in the air and stomped my feet down just to try to replicate it, to stomp down as hard as I could, and nothing even remotely close to what we felt. It was very deep, it was resonating. You could feel it in your chest and in your bones when it happened.
And I think that's what made it a lot more real and made it that much more terrifying, was because you could feel it. I couldn't understand what was happening. I continuously kept trying to rationalize what it could be.
It felt like it was about 20 feet away, maybe. It was almost like there was something invisible in front of me making these noises that I couldn't see.
Ah! Kids, get out of here! We're gonna leave right now! It's okay. Get out! Get in the car! It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Hurry, David. Hurry, David! Come on! Coming. I forgot the backpack. What's going on, Mom? What's going on?
Hi, kids.
I remember Malik even putting down the window and me like, oh, put the window back up.
Put that window back up right now!
And that's when we heard the bang on the washer.
And it was like a ding, 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 like someone was hitting it with something. We couldn't figure that out. After this series of events that had just happened, hearing that just really set our nerves off.
Something just hit that wash bin up by the entrance to the camp.
And then we heard banging on the oil drums in the wash tub. Bang, bang, bang on that side, and then bang, bang, bang on that side. The banging on the wash tub seemed to have almost a rhythm to it.
That's the oil drum at the top of the camp.
The two of them were 100 feet from each other. So if something were to go from one to the other in between, we definitely would have heard it, especially at that speed.
How did I get there so fast?
There's no animals that would do that. And the fact that the drums were so far apart from each other, there was two things.
Mom, Dad, let's get out of here!
We gotta go.
If we hadn't heard the banging on the drums, I would have believed that it was a deer or a moose. There was no evidence of people. There was no new car tracks when we had driven in. We had to get out of the car and move down trees to be able to drive in.
It's gonna be okay. It's fine.
We didn't feel safe at that point. It had escalated our feelings of insecurity.
It's fine. Come on.
If you think about it, if it wasn't a person or people, then what animal can pick up a stick and bang on a drum?
Hurry.
I'm trying, it's not feeling over.
It was the banging on the drums while the growl was going on that was like really, really unsettling, because it has to be a person or something. It has to be a something, not an animal. You don't want to say that it could be Sasquatch, because people just look at you like, what?
What's going
But I've never been scared in the woods before, ever. And to have something like this, it shook me. We literally, like, jumped in the car and drove out as fast as we could. My children very much take cues from me. So when my face dropped and my mouth was gapped and my eyes were wide and I was terrified, like, the looks on their faces were like, oh, mom's scared. Like, okay. And I remember, like, they were very unnerved on the drive out.
It's okay, guys. Just a big animal or something back there. Nothing to be scared of.
I was shaking. Like, when we were driving out of there, I had adrenaline running through my system. I didn't know what to think because it was just so strange.
He stopped at one point and got out of the car, and I remember just being like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'll be right back.
I left my door open, left the car running. I went out and looked at it. I told her, stay in the car, I'll be right back.
I'm pretty sure I was yelling out the window to get back in the car.
David!
I was looking for deer tracks, moose tracks, bear tracks, even a dog or a rabbit, anything, something that my rational mind could understand.
David?
Mom, what is he doing?
It's okay.
When I saw that there was no signs of anything there, it just really, it made me even more scared, I suppose, because it was just, once again, more mystery, more questions. It felt like something was watching me or knew where I was, but I didn't know where it was, and it also had a threatening feeling about it.
Hurry! Close the door, come on.
A lot of people are scared to talk about their experiences in the woods. You don't want people to, like, be like, oh, you're crazy, as if it was, you know, Sasquatch or anything, like, oh, what? And so you're just trying to rationalize it. Anything that is not been scientifically proven yet, I think it's hard for people to discuss it. David was there. I have support. I have somebody that experienced it, and the kids were there. Harper may not remember it, but Malik does.
I'm still very skeptical, but I'm open-minded as well. I'm always a little bit on edge, just wondering, but if something like that were to happen again, I may question going back.
The Red River Gorge is located in the Daniel Boone National Forest. I've been hiking there since I was a 15-year-old child.
In the summertime, it's so green and beautiful. You don't see the forest for the trees, but in the winter, when all the leaves are down, you can see miles.
It's my favorite place on earth. My wife and I go up there regularly. After several years of going up there and renting, we decided to try to find a little cabin on a hill and find a place to have a vacation home and kind of future retire. We want to retire and be off the grid up there. That's our goal. As soon as I drove up on this cabin, I felt a connection to it. This cabin is very unique. The cabin sits on an abandoned logging road, so for 50 years or plus, they have not logged on these roads out there. We got very lucky.
I'll get the bags.
It's small, it's on a secluded area. And, you know, we just kind of were pinching ourselves when we got it.
I'll put the coffee on.
Oh, that's great.
For me, it's heaven.
Cheers.
Everything is so easy about living in the city, but sometimes you just want to get away from it all, and being able to retire someplace quiet, away from it all, is what's perfect. You get to the cabin, you just feel this relief. It's like that heavy sigh when the day is over and that your week could be over. And then you look at this little log cabin. Solitude. I think that's the best answer for it. It's our escape.
I'll put the bag in the car. Drive safe.
I will.
I had a full-time job in the city, and it's only a 2-hour drive. He ended up spending a lot of time there.
Because I was spending so much time in the cabin alone, I decided to get a security system. I was up there about a week. I'd put up a security camera, like a 4-camera system with infrared. There is absolutely nothing up there. There's no cell phone. There's not even a phone that worked. There was literally just me in the cabin, and I could just sit by my chair and watch my little monitor and just kind of see what goes by. It was late one night, about between 2 and 3 a.m. The security camera system gives you warnings when it picks up anomalies. And you can record it, look back at it, and it happened to pick up some strange things. There was a strange green mist that seemed to appear sporadically. The image is very clear. I mean, it's a very good image. It looked like it was morphing in and out. I mean, I know when I'm looking at a monitor what is supposed to be there, what's not supposed to be there. I know the things that could affect it. I know that there was nothing going on that night that would put that image in there. I mean, it's really hard to decipher. It's hard to comprehend. But the thing about the infrared camera systems is that at night, for it to pick up an object in motion, it would have to be generating so much heat to activate the cameras. I decided to walk out to see if I could figure out what it was coming from. What was making that image on my infrared camera? I didn't see anything. What do I think it was? I wish I knew. I wish I knew what it was. The way this thing moved. I really think it had to be a ghost. The only thing I had hooked up in the cabin was a PlayStation and a television. And both of them came on. You know, I was like, okay, old cabin, old electrical system, things happen, right? About 10 minutes later, the exact same thing happened again. Television, PlayStation come popping on. At that point, I'm extremely concerned and scared. The fact that you're in a remote area by yourself in the middle of the night put me into total shock and terror mode, panic, and I felt like I was gonna piss my pants. I was trying to decide, was I gonna sleep in the cabin that night or not? You know, I was even debating whether to drive back home because I was that scared. And I said, no, I'm gonna go in my bed and lay down and see if I can get some rest. So I lay down in the bed, and I could see the television through the living room. I remember actually pulling the covers over my head. I pulled them back down, and as soon as my eyes made contact on the television, bam. And I remember being fearful to look at, even in the direction of the television. So I pulled the covers over my head. I'm talking to myself like, you're a 50-year-old college graduated. What are you doing? You know, man up. It's really just blowing my mind at this point. So I immediately decided I've had enough. That's it. The fear factor went through the roof. And bam, I get out of bed and run out of the cabin. I didn't even really have any clothes on. I was like, I'm out of here. I thought it could be, anything. I just couldn't explain it. I spent that night in my car. I felt safer in the car than I did in the cabin. I could not go back in the cabin that night. There was just too much going on.
He started to hear some things, see some things, and, with my analytic mind, I'm like, oh, it was probably just a noise, the house settling, old electricity, whatever the case might be. I'm gonna write everything off.
So on the CCTV thing, it went off.
I chalked up a lot of the electricity kind of stuff to being just that, an old house, but it doesn't make sense, something completely turning on that was completely turned off. I have seen the camera footage and the green lights and things like that. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what it was, but I was scared for him being out there by himself. You just can't explain some things, that's all I can say.
Yep.
I know there's some things stuck between this world and the other world. Maybe.
About a week later, it was late one night, I got another warning. I'm looking at the monitor, and this ball of white light came from the ground, slowly moved up the driveway, did a 180-degree turn back, went back the other way, and just surveyed the area, got to the end of the driveway, and zipped out of frame. I mean, in a split second, it went whoosh.
I was seeing it on security cameras, and I'm looking like, well, it's a bug, or, kind of looked like a little fairy out there, big bright ball that was kind of floating around, and you could see the wings. When you look at it closer, you're not seeing anything that makes sense.
It would have to be generating so much heat to activate the cameras.
We wanted to go places where most people didn't go. It seemed like something didn't want me there. It was terrifying. The fear hits you like a wave and takes over. I wanted to scream. That's just not supposed to happen in the woods.
name's Debbie Robinson. It took me by surprise completely. I don't ever think I've ever been that scared at that moment. I've always wanted to go to Hocking Hills.
You guys excited?
Can't wait. So my daughter, Alyssa, and her best friend, Tanija, said, let's book a cabin for Hocking Hills for your birthday.
My name is Tanija Thomas. Debbie's daughter, Alyssa, is my best friend. I've never been in a cabin in the woods before, so I knew it was gonna be like really peaceful and really fun and all that stuff.
I drove with Alyssa and Tanija.
Scary out here, man.
And my other son, Colin, and his best friend, Matt, were in Matt's car.
My name is Matthew Roeder. Debbie is my best friend's mom. The cabin we stayed in, it was pretty much like in the middle of nowhere. It was deep woods, like it's just woods everywhere.
To get to the cabin, it was a very scary driveway. And then finally you get up and then you see your big cabin sitting there. It just looked all spooky.
Ah, wow, look at this place. We're here. Finally.
But we were very excited to get away.
Whoa. This is nice.
The only thing that we were a little skeptical about is all the windows had no curtains. So it's easy to see in. So that was the only thing I remember thinking, uh-oh. You had that feeling that someone's watching you.
Who wants chips?
Oh, yeah.
Over here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Mom.
No problem.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
That night was great. Everybody's just like joking with each other, and we're having a good time, like we always do.
Who picked the cabin right out of the horror movie?
Thank you very much.
Wait, what is that? What?
Shit, man.
There was no worries on the first night at all.
And then Friday, that's kind of when things started changing.
You guys sleep well last night? Passed out. My man, nice.
Whoa.
There was this horrible smell.
It smelled like wet dog, but also like a dead animal, and then like feces, like just all bad things combined.
That wasn't here last night.
Yeah, it keeps coming and going.
And I thought it's because, you know, it's stinky from the like mud or dirt or something.
The mud?
From the rain last night.
But it wasn't that.
I think it might be something come from the woods.
Just was like in the air. It was so weird. We couldn't figure it out. During the day, they all went on a walk. And I was just chilling outside.
Oh my God. Stop doing that.
Oh my God, I got you so good. That whole day, I was messing with people the whole time. When Alyssa was taking a shower, I would knock on the doors.
Who is it?
Like, there's a ghost in the house and stuff. So that's why I thought everybody was gonna try to get me back that night.
All right, everyone. I'm gonna head up. Night.
Me too.
Just gonna finish this.
All right, good night.
And I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to fall asleep.
Hey, Matt, you staying up?
Yeah, just for a bit.
Okay, shut the door when you come in. Thanks for letting me swap, sweetie. No problem. Guess I'm the only one brave enough to sleep in the downstairs room.
I didn't like being in the main room downstairs by myself. I just didn't feel comfortable.
Night.
So I went upstairs with Tanija.
I kept hearing noises behind me. It sounded like maybe like something fell out of the tree.
Sounds like a pretty big scary monster out there. I'm really scared.
I felt like it was a game because I was messing with everybody a lot, so I thought, you know, now it's time for them to get me.
You guys are really scaring me with this stuff.
But no one was talking back or no laughing. The bush like blew up. Something jumped on this bush. And then the birds just took off. They were all like flying everywhere. I could feel that something's out there. I was terrified. I'm panicking because I don't know what's going on here. But I heard something in the cabin. I was thinking like, it is gonna be someone messing with me and it's gonna be a funny joke. You know, they got me good. Well, everything was closed when I ran inside. No doors open, not a sound. Nobody running through the house to hurry up and hide or get back in bed real quick. So that's why I blocked this front of the patio off with the chairs, because I was like, well, if someone's out there. I ran upstairs.
And the door banged open. And there was Matt, with just scared out of his mind, he looked like.
Who's messing with me?
What are you talking about?
He thought that Alyssa and Tanija were outside messing with them.
What about Colin?
Colin's been in bed for ages.
Then he realized that it wasn't none of us.
There's somebody outside.
Matt is not a type of guy at all to just be scared of anything.
Okay, let's go see what's going on.
So I got up and I wanted to go down there and investigate what was happening.
That's when I first knew that Matt was really scared, because he blocked the stairs. Boy, something really spooked you. And coming out of the woods back there, I saw this black thing.
Over here.
And we see this creature. It was crawling. The moon was really bright that night, so it lit up the entire backyard, but only good enough to where you could see the figure, but you couldn't see, like, details of it.
What is it?
I don't know. Bear?
Look at those shoulders.
Its shoulders were really, really broad, really wide.
I was terrified because my body knew it was something different. It stood straight up.
He was huge.
Taller than any human. It was something I never seen before, and it freaked me out.
And it just started walking on two legs like a human.
It's coming right towards us.
And that's when I started freaking out. Whatever it is, it's coming for the cabin.
It was getting closer and closer, like walking towards us.
I was terrified, and now I can't move. I don't want to take my eye off of this thing to know what it's gonna do.
I was just ready to scream.
And it stopped and got back into crawling on all fours.
And then all of a sudden, he just went right back, like disappeared right into the deepness of the woods.
I'm gonna go get the others.
Bounced away from the window, ran and woke up everybody.
Alyssa, Colin!
Because I knew it was out there.
I thought that, okay, well, maybe he's like scared of us.
We should go out there.
We heard noises to the right of us, but you could tell it was not a human. It sounded like something none of us had ever heard before, and it was freaking us all out.
Sounds like it's coming from over there.
And all of a sudden, it was super quiet.
The downstairs door slams.
There, he's right there.
You could see something that zoomed by.
There.
I was scared. I was like panicky scared.
Everybody was just looking at the front of the cabin, but I kept hearing something behind me. Something kept taking a couple steps, and every time I would turn around, it would stop. Footsteps getting closer behind me.
Guys, there's something on that side too.
I felt like there was at least 2 or 3 of whatever that was stalking us. The one up front was like trying to distract us while the other one would sneak up behind us. I was expecting something to pop out at any moment.
And then the noises that started coming all around us, it felt like.
There was definitely more than one there.
You know, everywhere you looked, it was so active.
I felt surrounded.
Alyssa's like scared to death. And then all of a sudden, everything stopped.
Not a branch, nothing.
Everybody's looking, no one knows, what's going on, but you're not thinking at the time of anything else but just to watch and just to keep making sure it's not coming towards us.
We were out there almost all night.
I did not feel safe until 4 o'clock in the morning.
I'm going to check where that thing came from last night.
As soon as the light came up, my son was determined to go out Make sure it's not like people messing with us or something.
Alyssa! Alyssa! Come back here.
So they went in that area where we heard all that noise.
Whoa, look at that. That thing is huge.
And that's where the footprint was.
Yo, there's another one.
I wear a size 12, and this thing made it look like I have a woman's size 6 on. I'd never seen anything like that.
Oh my God.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Was it just the one?
Oh no, there was a big trail of it.
Everything that I saw, heard, and then the footprint, I was like, that it had to be a Bigfoot.
Can you believe this?
Can you send me a copy?
Sure.
And I was just shocked. Still am shocked.
I was very relieved to finally leave the cabin. I absolutely do believe in Bigfoot now. It completely changed what I believe in, and it terrified me. It scared me.
I cannot wait to get out of here.
I still love getting together with my friends and family. I still want to do all that. But I don't want to be scared like that again.
I was just expecting a nice birthday weekend, maybe like a couple arguments, but I wasn't expecting that. You hear all these stories when you're growing up, and then it really actually happens to you. This isn't something out of a scary movie, like, this is real.